Jason Ferber. They call me Coach Ferber on Instagram. My friends call me Ferbs. It's great because I never had this as a kid. I never had anybody that was a former or current professional be able to take their time and give back. Plus, even if I had the money, which I didn't, instruction like that wasn't available at that age. So it's really remarkable to see guys that are current and former pros giving back their time to young kids, making it exciting. Dads of Little Leagues, they do the best they can, but it's a little different when you're learning from a guy that's actually doing it where you're at. So that's why I love it here. The first thing I would say is that it's impossible to get help unless you ask for help. And a lot of times, I know myself as a guy, even a grown man, I always had a ton of problems asking people for help growing up. I always felt like I knew it all, right? And that's a real dangerous place to be, because when you don't know, and you don't know it all, but you think you do, you put yourself in some pretty precarious situations. So just having the ability to kind of like separate and put the ego aside and say, look, man, I'm struggling right now. I need help. Can you help me? That's the first move. Sometimes I will ask them pretty simple questions like, what's your end goal? Who are you doing this for? Is this just for yourself or is it for somebody else? You know, when somebody's about to give up on something, and that's really age dependent too. I think you might need a little bit more of a push if a kid is a little younger. Once they get to a certain point and they're making those decisions, you kind of sometimes have to let people fail. I don't necessarily try to convince somebody that they have to keep going in a certain direction, but I will show them examples of previous players that I've worked with that if they would have given up at this point when they were struggling, this would have never happened. They would have never made it to the big leagues. So if you want to get to, that's why you ask the end goal. I ask questions more like, are you enjoying the game? How much are you enjoying the game? Are you waking up every morning passionate and driven, right? These are the type of things that I ask guys, because if they're not waking up every morning passionate and driven to get better, all this other stuff behind it, it's kind of like almost pointless.